How's everyone doing? Running kind of late, that's my bedtime. But we're going to do the best we can here. It's not so much finding your inner voice, it's trusting your inner voice. Last week we had our commencement ceremonies for Rochester High. Congrats to the class of 2015. But as I was sitting there watching all these seniors come across the stage, I knew deep in my heart that when it comes to your college choice, there's 3 words that they all want to hear. Full ride scholarship. When it comes to that college choice, there's 3 words that they hate to say. I don't know. And it seems more and more we are pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing our kids to grow up so fast. All right? Middle school, kids are, you better be thinking about what college you want to go to. You better be making your choice. All right? Elementary school, what are you doing? You know, you can't do that. That's not going to look good on your college application. All right? Little Johnny, he was potty trained way earlier than you were. So I look at this idea of, okay, how do we get people to really be able to lose the I don't know and to be able to, you know, sort of find that inspiration they need? Because you ask any kindergarten, you know, what do you want to do with your life? And they've got a ready answer, all right? I'm going to be a firefighter. All right. Well, why is that? Well, my dad's one. Well, that's great. What are you going to be? Oh, I'm going to be a football player. Oh, that's awesome. Why? Well, I like football. All right? What do you want to do? I want to work with animals because I like my kitty cat. Awesome. But then suddenly something starts to happen. As the kids start to get older, all of a sudden all the detractors start jumping in there and saying, well, Johnny, you wouldn't be a very good firefighter because you hate heights and you can't climb ladders. Oh. And then the guy who wants to be, you know, playing with animals. Well, no, you don't want to do that. That's not going to pay very well. And you can never pick up after your dog in the yard, so I don't think you'll make a very good veterinarian either, so I want to stay away from that. And those detractors sort of chase people away from those initial inspirations that they had. So then suddenly they're heading into high school, and now everybody's telling them, okay, got to start making your choices, make your choices, make your choices. What's it going to be? And they have a voice inside, that's oftentimes having sort of a running conversation with them. You've seen some of these people. They'll be in the grocery store, just talking away, and you realize, oh, they must have a wireless phone thing going. And then you realize, no, they don't. All right? I'm not talking about those kind of people. I'm talking about the kind of people who inside are silently questioning, talking about, well, is this right? Is this wrong? All right? As little kids, we first start hearing that voice, and oftentimes it's when we're about to do something really bad. No, don't tie those firecrackers to the cat's tail. It won't be nice. But of course, we do it anyways, and then we get spanked for it, and we realize, okay, my inner voice was telling me the truth there. But then suddenly, as we go along, for some reason, we stop trusting that voice. And now, instead, we listen to the detractors. And in the world we're in today, the unfortunate reality is that we're being bombarded by different forces out there that are trying to get us to totally ignore our inner voice. Don't listen to what your conscience tells you. No. You want to really, truly believe what we tell you. And suddenly we go from being able to think for ourselves and really converse with ourselves, and we're instead being sort of talked to and dictated to. Politicians hope that. We don't want you to think. Just do what we tell you to do. Advertisers want that. Don't think about this product, just take it. Trust me, it's good. It's healthy for you. All right? So for high school seniors, all right, who are now trying to step into this world, who have lost that ability to sort of listen to their inner voice and trust their voice, they are kind of left at the mercy of what's around them. All right? And a lot of pressures are put upon you to, make that right choice, pick that right career. But how do you know if you can't trust what your voice is telling you is the right career? Or what is the right choice for you? We have built a society where everyone's being dictated to, you must go to college or you will not succeed in this world. But is that true? Is that really true? When I first started teaching here, a long time ago, all right, I was amazed at all the programs we had in this building. We had a full-time auto shop. We had metal shop. We had wood shop. They were building furniture and selling it. And then all of a sudden there was this whole move to suddenly say, no, 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 no. We don't want these kind of programs. We want everyone going to college instead. So you had all these kids who were like, well, you know, I really thought I wanted to be a carpenter. And my voice was telling me I should be a carpenter, but no, I'm being told that I need to go to a 4-year college and earn a degree in something. A couple years back, I asked my classes, I said, how many of you can honestly say your parents are unhappy with their job? And I would say 75% of the kids, their hands shot up. And I said, that's devastating. Do you want to go down that same path? And they're like, oh, no. Well, what are you going to do then? Well, I'm going to Michigan like my parents told me to, and I'm going to major in pre-med like my parents told me to, and then I'm going to be a doctor. Is that what you want? Well, no. I want to be a spaceship commander. Why do you think video games are so big now? They let everybody do what they want to do, right? But no, we have to be able to allow people to trust that inner voice once again, all right? And be able to have that conversation with themselves to say, you know what? This is what I really want to do, or this is where I really want to be, or this is where I'm going to be happy. Happy? Oh, wait a minute. Where did that come into the equation? Are we supposed to be happy in our lives? Come on, answer that question. Yes, no? Yes. Yes. Where does it say we can't be happy? Oh, that's right. The pharmaceutical companies don't want us happy unless we're taking a daily pill. All right? So, yes, that's the problem we face. Now, pardon me while I jump back here to just make sure I'm hitting all my vital notes here. All right? Yes. As we move on, we see ourselves sort of finding all of these obstacles that prevent us from really being able to sort of listen to what's going on in here, all right? And suddenly we lose that, and as a result, we're left kind of aimless. Like I say, those high school seniors who are the I don't knows, all right? For those seniors who are going into college and saying, yep, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've got my total career path. I'm going to have, you know, this occupation. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have 2.5 children. It's going to be great. Great, congratulations. But the reality of our world is that, are you going to end up where you think you're going? And the answer is no. Because oftentimes people get into college and also they realize, ooh, there's so many more possibilities here. Or the temptations are thrown at you to, no, don't go down that path. Go down this path. I had the opportunity to go to New York City and meet up with some former RHS alums. It was very interesting because there was one student there that I met up with who had gone to MIT, full ride, right? And his goal, he was going to be like a nuclear physicist. And he was big into lasers and space travel and all that kind of stuff. But as he was nearing graduation, all of a sudden he started getting all of these recruiters coming to him from Wall Street. And all these huge financial institutions were saying, hey, all you MIT kids with like major brains, do you want to like go work in a lab somewhere? Or do you want to come and work for us and let us use your brain power? And we will pay you obscene amounts of money. He's now working for Bank of America. And that's what's happening, is there are so many forces that are causing you to not listen to your voice. And are you going to be happy if you don't listen to your voice? He's not. He's struggling. He's going, man, I really am torn here. You know, I'm making all this great money, and I make great money, but I just don't feel good about what I'm doing. It just doesn't feel right, all right? So what do you tell a person like that? Care to make a donation? You can throw some of the excess money my way if you really want to, all right? Buy some new things around the theater here, it'd be great for us, all right? But I said, hey, bankroll yourself. Save some of that money and then go do what you want to do. And you won't have to worry about the money issue. He's going, hey, you know what? I never really thought of that. Well, I bet you he did. I bet you that voice was back there telling him, you know what, we could make this ourselves here. But he wasn't willing to trust it. Wasn't willing to trust it. All right? I can tell you my own experience. When I was heading into college, I was one of those I don't know people. I didn't know for sure what I wanted to do. My dad was hoping that I would go into like civil engineering, since that's what he did. All right? But I don't know, I had worked around construction sites. Didn't seem all that thrilling to me. So I ended up at Oakland, ended up taking all sorts of different classes and whatnot. And I was drawn to English and literature, all right, and also theater as well. So as I was bouncing around at Oakland University, I finally got to that year where they tell you you must declare a major. Hopefully some of you will not have to go through that experience, but they tell you have to decide now. So I'm like, okay, literature's been good to me, English has been good, I have several relatives who are teachers, perhaps that might be the way to go. And I had a voice telling me, think back, Frank, think back to your teaching experience. My teaching experience began in 4th grade. We were an unruly 4th grade class, and one day the teacher went off on us. She was not happy. And she said, okay, well, any of you think you could do this better? Go ahead, give it a try. So I did what any normal 4th grade student would do. When the teacher's back was turned, I raised my hand. And as soon as she turned around, I dropped my hand. Snicker, snicker, snicker. But of course, there was little Susie. Oh, Miss Evans, Frankie raised his hand. So suddenly there I was, cast to the front of the room, and told, okay, smart guy, teach us. Well, I learned a valuable lesson in it today. Never enter a classroom without a lesson plan. And it was not a good experience. There I am studying in Oakland going, teaching? Oh boy, I don't know. But a voice was saying, you know what? Yeah, this might be the place for you. So I entered the education program. I finished the education program. And they're going to send me to Pontiac Northern High School for my student teaching. Now I came from a predominantly white suburb, at the time Southfield, all right? And going to Oakland University, all right, I didn't experience a lot of diversity at the time I was there. So I got there, Pontiac Northern. First day of class, teacher has the students standing up and introducing themselves and saying something interesting about their subject. And the first young man stands up and he says, I'm going to tell you how I got shot this summer. And I thought to myself, ooh, this teaching thing, perhaps not. But the voice inside was saying, just hold on, you can do this. Sort of like Rob Schneider in Adam Sandler movie, you can do it, all right? So as I started teaching at Pontiac Northern, what I found very quickly was that I was working with some of the roughest of the rough. I had gangbangers, I had kids with police records and all that kind of stuff. And what I quickly realized was I could kind of connect with these guys. Because all they were looking for was for someone to care. And when they realized that I wasn't just, there for a paycheck. No, when you're doing student teaching, you pay to be there. That's one of those crazy things. So they realized, okay, this guy's being upfront and honest with us. And I was able to work with them for an entire semester. At the end of the semester, my time was done. And the students put together a this is your life moment for me. They called me down and said, yeah, you have to come down to the small theater here. There's something going on. And I come in, and my class is all standing there, and they go, we're going to do This Is Your Life. And I was like, wow. And it was a pretty interesting, scenario, because here comes this, big kid I had. He was about 350 plus. And he goes, hey, Mr. Gollon, I'm your dad. And I said, okay. And to see these students playing my family and, sharing all these stories that they kind of made up about me, some of them were pretty entertaining. I said, this is amazing. And the voice inside of me was saying, this is what you need to do. But was I ready to listen to that voice? No. So I kind of, graduated and did some subbing here and there. And one day I came walking into Rochester High. And here I am. And at the time, all right, they weren't hiring or anything. And they're saying, yeah, you're going to be subbing for a while. And then I subbed for a year and a half, and the position opened, and I interviewed for it. Ah, sorry, you don't get it. Ooh, done. So then I was subbing again that next year when suddenly the theater director said, I'm done. I've had enough. And that was middle of the year. And all the seniors came running to me saying, oh, Mr. Gollon, he's not going to do the musical. You've got to do the musical. Please, you've got to do it for us. And I looked at them and said, I have never directed a show before. But there was that voice. You can do this. So I had some theatrical experience, predominantly technical. But having all these students running me saying, you must do this. I said, okay. And I can remember going through that whole process, putting up the cast list, having all these students running to me, crying their eyes out, oh, I didn't get the part. And I'm thinking, why did I sign up for this? But the voice kept saying, trust me, it's going to be okay. So we went through all the weeks of rehearsal. We got to the performances. We got to closing night. And it's kind of nice because I was standing right there. And as the curtain was closing, as I was watching all the students on stage cheering and high-fiving each other as the curtain closed, I suddenly realized, wait a minute, the heck? I'm like crying back here. What? And it was tears of joy. Because at that moment, I realized that my inner voice was right. And I had found what I wanted to do. Because I trusted my inner voice. And that was 31 years ago. And they still haven't gotten rid of me yet. All right? So I must be doing something right. So we have to learn that, yes, sometimes that voice inside of our head knows what's best for us. And we have to be willing to trust it. Even when, as was mentioned earlier, what it's telling us seems uncomfortable. I don't know if I can do that. I can't tell you the number of kids that I've had come through who step through these doors and like, I can't audition for a show, no. And we grab them anyways. And we throw them up here, literally. And they're there bouncing off the floor and getting up. And we're like, okay, do something. And they try it, and they suddenly realize they had something within them that their inner voice was telling them, it's there, you can do it. But for some reason, the detractors kept saying, no. You can't, stay away, don't do that. All right? Inside each of you, young people, middle-aged people, older people, there is that voice. All right? And what we have to learn to do is learn to trust it. It's not enough to just listen to that voice and have the running conversations. All right? Well, I'd really like to have that triple bacon cheeseburger, but I probably should go for the salad. Well, I don't know. Listen to it, but it's not enough to just listen. Because if you listen, then you tend to ignore. And when you tend to ignore, you tend to miss all the possibilities that do exist for you. And it's only when you take the time to truly trust that voice, all right, and open yourself to the possibilities, some of them possibly uncomfortable, that you'll truly find what you are truly going to be happiest with and at. And here I am today to tell you that at that spot over there, I had that moment because I trusted my voice that was telling me, you can do this. So for each and every one of you, if you haven't found that moment in your life yet, where the light goes on and the tears stream down your face with the realization that you have found your place, I hope you find it soon. And for those of you who are still searching, it's there. Let your inner voice guide you. Thank you for staying awake for me.